So guys, welcome back to RBR. I'm your host Raz, and today we are looking at the facelift of AMG's GT 4-door, a super saloon that's really close to my heart because it's one that I owned. I did 20,000 miles in my GT63S and loved every single second of it. And today we have the facelift here, though oddly in the GT53 to begin with, and we'll get onto the V8s later. There's some really nice visual changes here on the GT facelift that I want to take you through. And they've also done changes in terms of the suspension to give it more breadth of ability. And we even have a whole new special edition for even more individuality, along with a host of all new options to make the car more personalized. And that special edition is this, the GT53 special edition that we're going to run through. So I'm going to show you all the exterior changes, all the technical changes of this car as well. Then we'll head to Germany, where RBR co-host Tobi will take you through the entire interior alongside a really special guest from AMG who I'm sure you guys are going to recognize as well. And then we'll come back here and I'll run you through what I think the V8s in the facelift are going to be like. So now let's dive in and check out the new facelift for AMG's GT 4-door. So guys, today's episode of RBR has been kindly sponsored by a returning sponsor, my favorite wallet company, The Ridge, and they've got an awesome offer just in time for Father's Day. Why are they my favorites? Because like you guys, I love carbon fiber, and they make simply the best carbon fiber wallets that I've ever seen. Look at that, matches exactly your car. You can get the forged one as well. Now with slim wallets, I'm usually used to this type of one. Yes, I'm a bit of a tart with the brand, but these can only hold 5, 6 cards maybe, whereas in the Ridge, you can get up to 12 cards plus cash within the cash strap here. I also love that when I put it in my pocket, it doesn't bulge at all, it's super slim, and it's got RFID blocking technology, so no one can take money out of any of my cards. Now, of course, I've got a discount for you guys. All you need to do is go to theridge.com/RBR, use the code RBR. You'll get 10% off one of these awesome carbon wallets. Help support the channel as well, and you'll have something super stylish and something that matches lovely motorsport cars. So go to ridge.com/RBR. Huge thanks to The Ridge, and a huge thanks to you guys for supporting our sponsors and hence the channel. So guys, here we have AMG's GT 53. Now this is a super weird move by AMG to release the 53 first. Why? Let me explain. What we have here is a GT53, but if you look at the base facelift of the GT53, the design on the outside is no different to the pre-facelift, okay? What you have here in our special edition is something called the V8 Optics Pack, which is an additional package that we used to have before that gives the 53 or the 43 the face of the V8 version of the car. So what you're seeing here is actually the facelifted front end of the GT63S. I hope you're still with me here. So essentially you've got the V8 version of the face on this car. And this is a weird move because when they eventually release the 63 and the 73 that I'll tell you about later, well, the impact of that is going to be a little bit lessened because they've shown it here today on the 53. But then this is a really special edition version of the 53. So let's dive into it, shall we? First of all, the technical bits. Let's remind you the versions of the car that they've firstly announced. The first one is the GT53 4MATIC Plus. As with all the other 53 AMGs that we've reviewed on the channel, this features that inline 6 combustion engine that produces 435 brake horsepower by itself. And then you've got an electric compressor that sits between that engine and the gearbox that gives an additional 22 brake horsepower and an additional 250 Newton meters on top of the 520 that the combustion engine produces. And the 0 to 60 is said to be about 4.5 seconds. We've tested it a lot faster on recent reviews. Wait for the E53 wagon review to see just how fast these cars actually are. That, of course, is all linked to an all-wheel drive 4MATIC Plus system, which is fully variable, so you can send all the power to the rear. Unlike the 63, you get a 9-speed torque converter instead of the wet clutch, and that is essentially what makes our 53. Then you have the GT43 4MATIC Plus. This has the same inline 6, the same hybrid system, but producing less power, 367 brake horsepower in this with the additional hybrid boost, and of course a slightly slower 0 to 60, and still the 4MATIC Plus system tied onto it. And finally, you can buy a GT43 rear-wheel drive, same horsepower as the 43 4MATIC, but of course, just rear-wheel drive. So these are the cars that they've announced for today. Then we have the suspension changes that they've made to this. This is the only real technical change on the facelift that we've heard of so far. So we have, of course, AMG's Ride Control Plus suspension on here, which is fully adaptable and fully variable on the fly. But this new version of it has two new pressure controlling valves that allows the car to control the rebound and the compression within milliseconds, depending on driving conditions on the fly. And rebound and compression is something that, for example, in my C Black series, you would tune up before you go on a lap or go on a race in order to get the car just right for conditions. Whereas in the GT 4-door now, this car can do it on the fly to better either comfort or dynamic driving, depending on what you're doing. So it's really, really clever, and this is something that's new in this facelift GT 4-door. But really, apart from a few other changes to the suspension, this is all that's changed on a technical basis. The rest comes down to the look. So let's have a look at the exterior of the GT53 Special Edition, starting with, of course, the front end. On the face of it, you'll probably think there's not a lot of changes going on here. For the layman, I don't blame you at all. Best way to show the difference is to show you the old car. This is my GT63S that I used to have, and then show you the updated facelift. The main difference that you're going to see is on that front end. So the air intake on the pre-facelift was a little bit more exaggerated, whereas the new one has got a few more cuts. It's a bit more angular, a bit more use of those slanted AMG-like lines within the front end. Let's get close and have a look at it. You can see the smaller air intake, but a much more angular kind of finishing of, or the starting rather, of the A-wing as they call it, and then another deep blade within that as well. The chrome nicely showing the lower splitter as well. And overall, I think it actually looks a lot better than the pre-facelift. It's just got a bit more character, whereas the front previously looked a little bit lumpy. The grille, exactly the same as before. The lights, exactly the same as before. You can get an AMG Night Package 2, which gives you a dark chrome grille and dark chrome badges all around the car, which is a new thing they're starting on all AMGs, probably to stop people from blacking them out and making them look absolutely horrible. So the front end, I think it looks really fresh. It looks lovely. It's a shame that they didn't save it or save something special for the 73. Maybe they will. I'm just assuming at the moment. But it looks like they're going to roll this V8 look across any car that you want it on, essentially. And the other thing that really catches your eye as you're going around it is the lovely, lovely new 21-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels. A lot of flavor of kind of C63 507 and the SLS Final Edition in this, alongside some very clear aerodynamic shape around the edge of it. But I really love the look. This is the one aerodynamic wheel I've seen a manufacturer make recently that actually looks sexy and sporty at the same time. So really good job by AMG on these. I love the look of them. Carbon ceramic brakes behind them, also looking fantastic. You do get a new 10-spoke option as well that look like this, and you can now option the red brake calipers for the 53s. That's kind of in line with all the other 53s now as well. In terms of the rear, you get those lovely round pipes, and these are the biggest 53 round pipes that you can get on any AMG. They even have the AMG logo inscribed on them that you won't find anywhere else. They look really good, and again, no changes to the lights, etc. on the rear of the GT 4-door either. Now, in terms of the special edition, it's finished in this lovely Rubelite red metallic, which is a very dark but extremely, extremely pearlescent. I mean, look at the pearl on this thing. It's gorgeous. Let's have a little walk around it and you can see the reflectiveness of the red pearl. It's quite fantastic. You can see a lot of use of chrome like you'd find on a Maybach, really putting forward this idea of the performance luxury brand that AMG want to push now. That's what they're calling themselves. And it looks really good. The wheels look absolutely ginormous on this car, don't they? I love the design of them. This edition is looking really, really sweet. And this is just the 53. Now, there are some more paint shades coming to the GT 4-door and a bunch of other individualization options. But to tell you all about that, we're going to head back to Germany to Tobi, and he's going to introduce you to someone who I've been really wanting to meet. We had planned to do this video together. Sadly, because of COVID, I couldn't go. But please welcome for the first time on the channel, AMG expert Felix, who you would have seen on AMG's YouTube channel. He's an amazing presenter. He's also the product head for GT 4-door. So let's hear what he has to say about the facelift.
Before we're gonna check out the interior, I would like to say thank you so much to you guys, the Remove Before Race community, for the very warm welcome that you guys gave me in the last videos. I really appreciate it. All of your nice comments. Thank you so much. And now it's time to learn more about the special color of this car, the different colorways that are available for the new GT 4-door, and we're going to check out the interior as well. I would like to introduce a very special guest today. If you guys follow Mercedes-AMG on YouTube, you know him from the Inside AMG videos. Please welcome Felix to the stage. Felix, good to see you.
Hello there.
Great to have you here. So
glad to be here.
Feel free to give a brief introduction. You are the absolute product expert for this new GT 4-door.
Exactly, yes. You already mentioned it. This is actually a very special car that we're having here in the studio. This is the GT53 Special Edition. And there are a few bells and whistles about it that make it so special. And first and foremost, that is obviously the color of the car. It is painted in Rubelite red, this beautiful metallic paint. However, that's only one of the new colorways that is available with the facelift of the GT 4-door. There is also a new shade of blue called Spectral Blue, which is going to be available in metallic as well as in a matte finish. And we also have Cashmere White Matte, or Magno as we call it. And that's, those are the new colorways for the exterior of the car. However, there are also a bunch of new colors for the interior. This car has the leather Napa style option with this beautiful rhombus stitching that you can see in Neva Gray and Black. And that is one of 7 colorways that we're adding with the facelift of the car. There is also going to be Deep White, which is even brighter for people who like a really bright interior. We have Yacht Blue, we have Classic Red, we have Sienna Brown, we have Tartufo, and we have Titan Gray, Pearl, and Black with yellow contrast stitching, so something very sporty and expressive.
Okay, wow. So thank you so much for this introduction. So basically what we are having is a very wide range of different colors for the exterior, some new added colors. And what I think interests me the most now, and I'm really excited about, is to learn more about the interior, because we were having a chit chat beforehand, and I have learned that even the floor mats are a bit different.
Exactly,
now, right?
yeah. With the special edition model, of course, like I said, we have a few things that are special, in fact, and there are a few details in the interior that are worth pointing out. Of course, there is a special edition badge in the center console to hint at the special nature of this particular car. There are also door sills that are illuminated in red to match the exterior of the car, and with all the new individualization options in the interior and all those new colors that I just mentioned, you get high-pow floor mats with piping that matches the color of the material in the interior. So that is a very nice touch indeed.
Perfect. So thank you so much, Felix, for providing the insights. And for us, it's time to check out the interior in detail. To me, the interior experience of a car begins when you open up the door. And this is exactly what we're going to do now, because when you open up the door of the new GT53 4-door Special Edition, you are greeted by an illuminated door sill. And as you can see, it's illuminated in this red color trim that also matches the exterior of the car. And as you can also see, you're also greeted by this new leather trim here. It's a bicolor leather trim, and also the new floor mats that we just learned about, which are kind of Maybach-like, I would say. They look very comfortable. So let's take a look at the middle console. Of course, you have the special edition AMG badge here, which lets you know that you are sitting in a special edition car, and a very nice detail for all of you AMG nerds. The symbol for the car does show now the face of the GT 4-door in like 63 optics package. Okay, so it's a small picture of this very car, which is a really great detail, and I really appreciate these small details as well. The first thing that I'm noticing, of course, is the brand new AMG steering wheel. It has now integrated the drive select and mode buttons down here. So it starts with slippery, individual, comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, and the best mode, Race, of course. Here on the left-hand side, you can switch it from adjusting the suspension, of course, here, from the exhaust button, which is very, very important because remove before race watches know exhaust on or else. So you can switch on the exhaust here as well. Or you can also set the spoiler in here, so the rear wing basically, AMG dynamics, also the camera settings. What I really, really like are here the new touch pedals or the new shift pedals. And they are really large, they are larger than on the previous model. Of course, we are now having the latest generation of MBUX on board, so I can control all of the system by either the touchpad here or of course by using here the touch screen, which also works very, very well in my opinion. MBUX wise, of course, we can talk to it as normal, so let's give it a quick try. Hey Mercedes.
How can I help?
My bum is cold.
Seat heating is turned on.
See, works perfectly fine. And now let's turn off the seat heating because we have about 30 degrees in here. Thank you so much. That's it for the interior. Back to you, Raz, and see you in the next one.
So GT53, that's all well and good, but we are interested in the V8, aren't we? Because we haven't even had this in the UK, for example, in the past. These models aren't available, only the 63S is. Where is it? AMG's new boss, Felix, said in the press release for this car that the next models coming up will be the E-Performance hybrids. So I think what's going to happen is, I think even your 63S is going to have some form of hybrid element, much like, say, the GLE 63 recently. So I think what you'll have here is that same V8 producing 630 brake horsepower, 900 Newton meters of torque. It's a hell of an engine, alongside that EQ Boost hybrid element that we find in the 53, giving you a little bit more horsepower and a whole lot more torque. I think that is a good bet for the 63S. But of course, this is now just the old flagship, because there's a new king coming, what we think will be called, or we hope will be called, the GT73E for E-Performance. This is the P3 hybrid version of the GT four-door that we covered very, very thoroughly in the last video. As a quick recap, this is a sub 3 second hybrid AMG with an EV mode, with 800 brake or horsepower, with over 1,000 Newton meters of torque, all thanks to the P3 hybrid setup with AMG's performance batteries, the electric drive unit sitting in the rear, and a load of other clever bits. Do check out that full video to get a really good idea of how AMG have gone about this. Now, I really hope that the next time we see the GT four-door on the channel, it's for an actual drive, because if AMG give me another first look at one of these cars, I'm gonna kill somebody. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed this. Please do like, subscribe, share this video to your petrolhead friends. And again, please do subscribe. I love all the comments of you guys saying, why doesn't this channel have 1 million subscribers? It just takes one tap of that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.